So today is our second attempt to explore the West Coast Treetop Walkway. Yesterday we tried to go there, but it was raining a lot, so we had a good time under the rain but couldn't use the camera. So we decided to get back there. After a couple of really rainy days and a very stormy night, we are waking up in the Mountain Jade Backpackers. Because Laura had a rough night, she decided that she needs a little bit of love. And where better to find love than at the bottom of a Nutella pot? Sorry for sharing that with you guys, but I really have to share with someone. I have to live with that every day. Anyway, we are now making our way to the West Coast Treetop Walkway, where we tried to film yesterday, but there was absolutely no way we could get any footage with the heavy rain. So this time around we have high hopes and the sky is blue. Alright, so we're back at West Coast Treetop. Today looks like such a much better day. So we think we're gonna get some much better footage. We're gonna have a much better time.
Yeah.
Take two.
Don't think we need the umbrellas today.
The West Coast Treetop Walk starts on the forest floor, just a reminder of what New Zealand native forest looks like from the bottom of the forest. And this is actually a good place to see some smaller birds like fantails and tomtits. They really like it around here and they're following us wherever we go. They're so cute.
But after walking for about 15 minutes under the forest canopy, it's time for us to get above the said canopy. And what better way to do so than just literally walking above it? And that's exactly what is the West Coast Treetop Walkway. It's a massive walkway right above the canopy, giving us a brand new perspective on New Zealand native forests. The walkway stretches over 1.2 kilometers long and it allows us to see all the different layers of the native forest. Usually when walking at the bottom of the forest we only see the thick dense bush, but from there we can see much more. For example, we can see the top of the very tall rimu trees which are extending way above the forest canopy.
A thing that we notice with these tall rimu trees is that there's actually vegetation growing on the tree trunks themselves. There's all these little bits of moss, even ferns that have somehow clawed their way onto the tree and growing on there as well. This really is a brand new perspective of a walk through the forest, which means we're taking twice as long to get around this loop. This is so unique, so we're really taking the time to make the most of it. And halfway through, we reach the tower. But he doesn't seem to mind, considering we get such sensational views above the forest canopy. The tower is 40 meters high and it's really a thigh burn to make our way up to the top. But once we get up there, the views are incredible. We can see Lake Mahinapua in the distance, as well as the Tasman Sea, and we do spend quite a long time up here, considering Robin is afraid of heights.
Making our way down the 40+ meter high tower is taking us quite a while, and Laura and I are lucky not to encounter any other tourists because I feel like these very thin stairs will not really make for an easy crossing, especially for someone like me which is terrified of the height. Once down from the tower, we are making our way through the canopy again. One of the really good things that I like about this walkway is that there is heaps of little signs on the side telling you much more about what you're seeing, both about the fauna and flora that we see, but also about the geological feature of the area. Soon enough we arrive to the Mahinapua springboard, which is overseeing the massive lake, as well as rimu trees again and kamahi trees. But what catches most of our attention from the top of these springboards are the massive kereru, which are the native wood pigeons of New Zealand. They are much bigger than your normal pigeon, and so big in fact that they used to be the only native birds to feed on full-grown fruit. And because of their size, they're also extremely clumsy.
Although we have come back to the Treetop Walkway today to show you it in the sun, we have to say that it is completely different to how we saw this forest yesterday. We saw it under the rain, which made all the colours so much more vibrant. We actually saw more insects yesterday under the rain, but it just really goes to show that you can enjoy this place in whatever weather.
The tall native forests to the South Island are the perfect spot for such a walkway. I really didn't think that it would be any different to actually walk above the forest than it is from walking under. In fact, I thought it would be worse because I would see less stuff. I feel like most of the animals will be around the bottom, but that wasn't true at all. We got to see it all, and even more. I did not expect to see that much, and the fact that we saw two wood pigeons being that clumsy just definitely made my day. Thank you, Laura.
That's okay.
I got some hot chocolate. Ooh, this is hot.